There is a long way you need to go through before you become someone. It actually consists of 5 stages. Stay with me and you shall know what they are. I'm Dr. Matt and welcome to my channel. It all starts with a single idea. There's always a thought. So before you become someone, you need to have a thought. These thoughts might be a product of mental activity. For example, biology is a large body of thoughts. It might be a single idea, which we say my daughter or my husband. Thoughts can be the mere acts of thinking. I was thinking about this whole night, people say. It might be a reflection of an idea. The thoughts of dying makes me feel afraid. It can be a memory from the past. I have these thoughts about how I was when I was 15. It can be a plan for the future. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow. It might be some sort of intention or expectation. I was thinking about meeting this person. And it can be also an opinion. Whatever this is, there's different forms of thought. It always starts with a thought. And thought is an image or it's an internal dialogue, which means you either imagine yourself something or someone, or you talk to yourself about this. There's either auditory or visual input. There's no other ways to do it. And it's virtual. Images that we produce or internal dialogues that we have, they don't exist in this realm. You cannot touch them. You cannot even feel them before you go into the next stage, which is emotional. You simply imagine or you talk to yourself. There's no connection with material world, but this is the first stage. It usually goes to the second. Because what you think, you might also change into feelings. So now an emotion appears. Emotion is not only virtual, it's also material, because emotion is a result of a thoughts influencing your body in a certain way, which means bodily reaction to mental interpretation of reality. Because body is involved already, there is material world, which is taken into consideration. There's physiological reaction, which is real. You cannot say, I don't feel love when you do, because it's a fact. Thoughts that lead to love might not necessarily be based on facts. When you say, I'm afraid, the fear is a fact, but the thoughts, not necessarily. So here's a second stage. There's emotion, and when there's emotion, emotion usually puts things into motion. So now there's a behavior. You act out an emotion. So someone is, say, afraid, so they close themselves this way. Someone is angry, so they tense their muscles and they want to attack a person. Or someone is ashamed, they put their head down. Or someone goes into sadness and they are like this. Or someone is enthusiastic. So as you can see, behaviors are of course based on body. And because they're based on body, they are very material. With behaviors, you can already create material reality. You can be imprisoned for behaviors if you, say, hit someone. But if you think about hitting someone, you will not be imprisoned for it, because we don't sue people for thinking a certain way. So thought is virtual. Emotion is a connection between virtual and material world. Now there's behavior, but behavior is singular. It's one act, a single act of performing something. For example, I do this. This is a behavior, right? Comes from a certain thought. But if I keep on repeating this constantly, depending on research, on average 3 weeks, if I repeat something constantly, then it becomes a habit. Habit is unconscious, which means that I repeat something without thinking about this. So here, virtual world is practically eliminated, because the body, when a stimuli is presented in this form or another, in visual, olfactory, gustatory, auditory way, then my body unconsciously reacts to something. Say there is an ambulance sound going on, and the emotion of alertness kicks in automatically. There's no conscious control of it. Or you think about lemons and automatically you start salivating. Now there's an anchor, there is classical conditioning concept where an image is producing a certain reaction, and it's a habit. You don't control it. You would have to dehabituate yourself, which is a topic for another movie. But at this stage, simply, you don't have to think anymore. You just act. You become an effective robot, which might be happy or unhappy. Happy when your habits make your life easier. For instance, there's some sort of a mistake that you make, you immediately, automatically draw a conclusion, and that's it. Every mistake becomes a life lesson. Or it might be a bad habit, like smoking cigarettes, for example. When you repeat a habit is still not you, it's still not personality. But if you repeat this habit in at least 3 different contexts, which make you perform and act out a different personality, then it becomes your character. For example, say that you are determined as a father, you're determined, or as a parent, as a matter of fact, you're determined at work, and you're determined when you run in your free time. So there's determination, which is mapped across 3 different concepts and contexts, which is your free time, parenthood, and work. This is how it becomes a personality. Remember what it started with? It started with a thought. So someone says, for example, it's good to look good. It creates a positive emotion. It's enthusiastic. Someone says, all right, let's go to the gym. They work out. They keep on, it's a behavior. They do it once, but now they repeat it. They get themselves an annual plan and they go there every day. After a couple of weeks, it becomes a habit. They wake up in the morning, off they go to the gym. So they practice it. Now they look better. They say it's really good to look good also at work. So they get themselves a very nice suit for man or a very nice dress, and they look great. And now they do the same way in different contexts. So it's good to look good turns into I'm handsome or I'm attractive in different contexts, and it creates one personality that we call an attractive person. As you can see, it's a complex process which consists of thinking, feeling, acting, habituating, and personalizing. But finally, sooner or later, it gets there because the brain is going to generalize everything. So the way then you become someone is by thinking, feeling, acting, repeating, and putting in different contexts. This might take months, if not years, but this is how you create yourself. One of the methods. Hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment, ask a question, visit my blog to get more information on mixed martial arts, and share this movie with someone who might benefit from it. Thank you very much and see you next time.